So now, what is tag? A piece of code that tells the browser what kind of content it has is known as tag. Let's understand this thing. I have written a content over here. Now I want this content to be displayed on the browser. I will write it in some file, save it, and then render this file using some browser, so the browser will display this thing. Now I want this thing to be displayed as a heading. Now how will I do this? How will I tell the browser that this content is a heading? Or let's say I want this thing to be a paragraph. So I will have to tell the browser that this thing is a paragraph. So how will I do this? Well, I can do it by using tags. How will you do this? By using some tag. Let's see here. I want this thing to be displayed on the browser as a heading. Now I will simply write a tag which is of heading tag, like this. So now this part and this part will tell the browser that this content which is inside them is a heading. So the browser will display this part as a heading. So a piece of code that tells the browser what kind of content it has, it is telling the browser that the kind of content is the heading. Okay, so that browser displays them accordingly. So the browser will display them as a heading. So this thing is known as tag. Now the tag is of two types. It is of two types, like this is opening tag and this tag is closing tag. Now this opening tag tells that the start of the tag is from here, yes, and then there comes the content, and then the closing tag tells that this whole section is over. Okay, so the syntax of opening tag is simple. You just need to write the left angle bracket and then some characters. Okay, these characters can be one or can be more than one. In this case it is two. In some cases it can be 3, 4. We doesn't know that how many it can be. It can be 1, 2, 3, but it cannot be null. That is, it cannot be empty. Okay, and after that there will be right angle bracket. Okay, the content which you want to be displayed on the browser, you write it here, and then after the whole thing you write the closing tag. The closing tag will just contain the forward slash, except this thing exactly same, but there is one more thing, that is a forward slash. So this thing is whole known as, this is the opening tag, this is the closing tag. Now what is element? If you see here, this thing is the tag, this thing is the tag, and this thing is the content. If I say that what is element, then the whole thing combined is known as element. So the element will be an opening tag, some content, and then the closing tag. This whole thing is known as element, while this thing is known as a tag, this thing is known as a tag, and this thing is known as content. One more thing you need to understand is this thing which is here, it can be one character or more than one characters. Okay, it can be 3, 4. Okay, this thing will tell the purpose of the tag. That is, here it is telling that it is a heading. Okay, so this thing is responsible for telling the purpose of the tag. Whenever you see a tag, always see this thing. If it is a P, that means that it is a paragraph. If it is H1, then it means that it is a heading. If it is IMG, then it means that it is an image. We will see all of them one by one, but I am giving you an introduction of them. So hopefully this whole thing is clear. So thanks for watching this video.